Jake Virtanen is a player that Canucks fans should be looking forward to. And what do I mean by that? Of course, I mean he's going to be a good player, of course, yeah. He's 21 years old, we drafted him 6th overall, for crying out loud. We have to expect somebody who will play for the Canucks down the line. But I think this whole belief on Virtanen, and when I say belief, I literally mean the belief that he will be a good NHL player. And don't tell me that I'm wrong when I say that this belief in Jake Virtanen has been tainted by previous seasons and Virtanen's development over the past few years. And I know a lot of people have been on this train of, is Jake Virtanen a bust? Is he gonna be only a 5-goal guy? Is he gonna be a bottom 6 player at best? There was a strong movement going on. A few years ago, I believe it was during the World Juniors, I think that was 2 seasons ago, where Jake Virtanen was almost labeled by a few hockey people as the scapegoat for Canada's failures in the World Juniors, and coming back to Utica or the Calgary Hitmen, I forgot which one it was at the time, people were starting to look down upon Jake. And, you know, a lot of people kept their heads screwed on tight and they said, look, the guy's 19. Of course we're going to go through some downtimes with him. He's 19. We can't expect him to progress up and up and up and up and up. It doesn't work like that. There's got to be some downtime in this development. So, for the past little bit, and I'm going to say that I'm guilty of this too, I made a video maybe like a year or two ago talking about what if the Canucks drafted Nylander or Ehlers instead of Virtanen, and I believe that that video still has some truth to it because Nylander and Ehlers both made quicker NHL impacts much faster than Virtanen was able to, so the course of the team literally would have changed if we picked one of those two guys instead of Virtanen, but that video wasn't meant to throw any shade on this is what Virtanen is now, he's a bust, he's never going to be a good player. Wasn't really meant to be like that. If it did come across like that, then I apologize. But I'm happy to say that Jake Virtanen, he's on the upswing now. He's playing with the Sedins. I just got finished up watching the Minnesota Wild game. I didn't watch a big part of it. I mean, I had it on in the background and mute because I was watching like SmackDown or whatever, but the game was, in my opinion, kind of boring. Nielsen got his 2nd shutout. The Canucks have 4 road wins now. That's incredible. And Virtanen, he had the only goal of the game. It was a nice shot. Interesting looking flat shot in the ice. Bounces off the defenseman's skate, comes right back to him, and he's able to pot it in up high. That was his only goal on his only shot of the game, and Virtanen only played, 10 minutes in that game. The Sedins, they had 14 minutes. So Virtanen, he's getting snubbed. I believe he had the lowest ice time among all forwards at 10 minutes, and he was the guy who scored the goal. And the video title is The Rise of Jake Virtanen. And the reason I put that as the title is because this kid, I've been impressed with him all season. He's fast, he's strong. You look at his strides. He's such a powerful skater now, it's incredible to watch him speed down the ice with good, solid hands. He doesn't finish that often, but he's scored when, he's been given really good opportunities. I mean, in the last game against Detroit, he had 8 shots. The Canucks had 37 shots in total, and Jake Virtanen converted 8 shots. In 14 minutes of ice time, he got 8 shots. And he scored on his last shot. The 8th shot of the game was the goal that went in. Now, taking a look at just that stat alone, 8 shots, that's like Ovechkin levels right there. I remember there was one game where Ovechkin was trying to get some goal record or whatever. He ended up taking 13 shots. And it's not up to a normal player to just decide, I'm going to take 7 or 8 shots in this game. You got to work for that. And Jake Virtanen is showing to us that he's able to work for that. Sure, they played against a weak Detroit team with weak defense. I'm not even going to hide it. That defense in that Detroit game was bad. But, you know, it's an NHL caliber team. Jake Virtanen is a powerful skater. He's getting shots, which is incredible. He only had one shot in this Minnesota game, but it was a goal, so who cares? He Kronwalled the heck out of Nicholas Kronwall in the last game. Kronwall was looking to Kronwall Virtanen, and yes, I am using Kronwall as a verb in this case. Kronwall was looking to Kronwall Virtanen. Virtanen turns around and he's like, nope, shoves his forearms out or whatever, bumps Kronwall all the way back, and it's such a good thing to watch, you know? This kid is on the upswing, and it's still appropriate to call him a kid. He's 21 years old. He's drafted 6th overall for a reason. This is the kind of game that we saw in the WHL. This is the game that we wanted to come on to the Vancouver Canucks. This guy is scoring goals when he needs to. Well, you know, when he needs to, debatable, but he's getting goals. He's on a 3-game point streak. He had an assist in the Buffalo game, and 2 goals in the Minnesota and the Detroit game. So this guy, he's playing well with the Sedins. The Sedins they're not getting that much ice time, admittedly. I mean, regrettably. I mean, however you want to say it, the Sedins aren't fast anymore. They're trying to do all their, like, fancy drop passes and everything. It gets cut off frequently, but having the Sedins with Jake Virtanen is not a bad thing, honestly. Virtanen's able to use his speed and his, like, determination and grit, finding the puck through big crowds of bodies, finding it over, sending it over to the Sedins. Their playstyles mesh well together in a really weird way, and even though I understand why this line is not getting any ice time, because, first of all, the Sedins are slow. Second off, Jake Virtanen is still brand new to the team. I mean, not brand new, but he's a new addition who's recently proved himself as, yeah, I'm a member of this team and I'm staying here. He played that full season alongside Jared McCann, and that was not an impressive season, but taking a look at his game now, a lot of the goals that he scored in that first season, they were 1 in a million kind of chances, you know? Like, some of the chances he forced himself. There was one play I remember, his first NHL goal was against Philadelphia. Somebody, I think it was Tom Sestito or whatever, shoved the puck up to Virtanen, and he was able to glide down, skate through, use his body to protect the puck, and he scored. Chances like that don't happen often. And you can say that it's up to the players to make chances like that happen, and Jake Virtanen did do that. But comparing the Jake Virtanen from, what was it, like 2015-16 to the Jake Virtanen now in 17-18, it's incredible. Like, Virtanen is a good player. He feels like he belongs on this team. Despite getting 10 minutes of ice time, he's showing that, yeah, he belongs here. He scored our game winner. He had 8 shots in the most previous game. He's an impact player, and that's great. Sure, he's playing with the Sedins, but, you know, he's getting 10 minutes a game. Even if you play with the Sedins, like, 10 minutes a game isn't that much. And he's using all of the time he has on the ice to make something happen. And that is not something we saw with Virtanen back in 2016. It's great. This is the rise of Jake Virtanen. And this season, if he's able to stay healthy, I believe we're going to see some good growth. And it's going to be great for Canucks fans because people will stop calling him a bust. Sure, people might say, oh, we still should have drafted Nylander, but is there anything wrong with having Virtanen on our team? Not at this point. I'm able to admit to myself that, yeah, I was kind of wrong. Virtanen is technically a bottom 6 guy, but he's going to get better. He's going to get better, and that's great to look forward to. So, with that being said, Jake Virtanen, I'm looking forward to seeing his development. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Twitter plus, which is Alex Schultz, like an Oscar Gaming, and bye.